we're back again with Perfect Tattoo History, Burnsville, Minnesota, with my pal Josh here. I don't even know if Josh needs an introduction at this fucking point, right? I would hope people know who you are by now, but Josh is very well known for being Mike Malone's apprentice at one point, and then opening this shop here with him, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't open it with him.
But with him
Underwood
here,
and him opened it up, and I was just coming up.
Okay, so we'll get to that in just a sec. So that's why I do these things, because I have half-assed stories, and I'd rather get it straight from the fucking horse's mouth. So, with that being said, Josh has been tattooing quite a number of years, and this motherfucker can tattoo his ass off. So, you can definitely see the Mike Malone influence in what he does, and man, and he just takes it to that next level, you know. And Mike would be super fucking proud of you, that's for sure. You know that, dude. So, let's just get straight to it. I mean, how did you start getting into tattoos? I mean, were you getting tattooed, hanging out with tattooers? Were you tattooing yourself? Like, how did it go down for you?
I had a mixture of all that. I was like, way back when I was like 4 years old, my grandfather was dying of cancer, my mom's dad. And he had the typical, like, placement military tats. He was in the Navy, that's him. And that was the carrier that he was on. But he had these tattoos, and he was stationed in Hawaii, so I just would mess with the tattoos, was enamored by them. Would draw kind of a little bit around them, just stupid kid shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure. And then didn't think anything of it, and eventually started like just being influenced by tattooing when I was in high school. Just all my favorite bands had them. The whole like they were just coming out to me, who was living in Illinois. You know, I wasn't around a major metropolitan area really, so it was like I got to see this stuff, and I was like, wow. So then
like all the cool guys had fucking tattoos.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, anybody that was someone you looked up to or did all the cool shit that you wanted to do, those guys were all tattooed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, I just I went straight from there to Florida, and I got tattooed in Chicago and in, well, not Chicago, but Libertyville, and in Florida at Louis Lambe's.
Oh yeah.
Got some stuff there from a gentleman named Kevin, and just was like, wow, this is amazing. He had my favorite car at the time.
Really? Which was?
Like a 300Z or something, you know, something.
The Guido Mobile,
yeah.
You know.
But anyway, I was like, damn, Andy tattoos and draws for a living. I think that'd be so cool. So then I just started sniffing around there, bought a kit, did one tattoo on my homie Matt, who works with me now, Matt Zervis, and from that point on, I was like, I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. This is not like what's getting done to me.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did this whole tribal thing on his ankle with a 6 flat, and it was like the worst.
You tore that up, huh?
Yeah.
Sideways and shit. You got nice little
blades.
gashes. Oh yeah, that's a good learning experience. But fuck, man, you just bum looking at that shit, you know.
Totally.
So, so you're scratching a little bit there. Like what? How do you know? Like how do you have the foresight to be like, all right, I'm a dumbass, and this is where I need to go to like get some semblance of an education in this.
Well, I always pursued all of it. Like I was, you know, I got a lot of no's everywhere.
No, I gotta like get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there was a lot of those, along with a lot of no's. So yeah, of course, I can dig it.
I went after it, and when I knew that, like, man, I'm like bleaching these needles, and it's like this is weird, and it's not how I'm getting it done, and I have my Tattoo A to Z Huck Spalding book out on my homie's lap as I'm doing it. I'm like, this is not responsible.
No.
And so, and then I just started drawing tattoos, and I went to this Atlanta convention back when Bird Productions was having the Atlanta show in '97.
I was there.
That's awesome.
No, I was there. This tattoo was done there. Gibson did it on me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I went there with some flyers of just like a drawing I had done of this heart and, you know, twisted light source heart or whatever.
Oh yeah, Twisted, multi-chrome crown, you name it, you know.
Yeah. And basically I went there with that, and people that were coolest to me were like Joe Capobianco, Sean Anderson, and Jack Rudy all said, nah, kid, this is what I advise.
Really?
And they were actually nice about it, you know, when I was showing them these busted ass flyers,
yeah,
like looking for an apprenticeship. But me and my buddy Matt went out to Ruth Chris because we always had steak night, and all the tattooers went out.
We were all there.
I had no idea what Ruth Chris was.
Dude, I was there.
That's crazy.
I swear to God, dude, I never missed a fucking Ruth Chris grub. Okay, especially back in the 90s, dude. You know, we just had fucking ridiculous money with us, you know? Like,
that is such
yeah,
a
where you
small
gonna
world.
go? You're gonna go to Ruth Chris. Of course.
Well, I didn't have any money, and my buddy was like, I'm not fucking spending $35 on a steak. And I'm like, dude, we are sticking around here because I'm listening. Like, I was eavesdropping, right?
Yeah.
So then I just went back to Florida, was kind of frustrated, didn't know what I was going to do. Like, went back from Atlanta to Florida, and ran into the apprentice that was at Louis Lambi's at the time on a bridge, because the bridges go up in Florida for the intercoastal.
Oh, yeah.
And I caught him on a bridge, and I ran up to his car, and I was like, dude, can you come over and just check on my equipment and show me, like, anything?
Uh-huh.
And so he was kind enough to do that.
Really?
I think I, like, spared him $25 or $50. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
hell
definitely encouraged him to come over there. And then eventually, I just started seeking out, like, who could show me. And I found this woman, Denise Wolf, in Libertyville, Illinois, which is back at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to leave Freedom to go back in my parents' basement to go do this apprenticeship.
That's great.
But I did
I mean,
it.
God bless you. I mean, like, that's, like, you stepped in shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you were looking to do the right thing, and you did.
Yeah.
You really did, you know?
Well, she set me straight.
Yeah, I'll bet you did.
I thought I was going to be Guy Atchison or some shit, and, you know, that was just the excellence of those years that I was looking, and she handed me the American Tattoo Master with Sailor Jerry, and I was like, she goes, this is what you should focus on.
Yeah.
And I was
You
like,
know, and I had to, like, when I was first starting, I was into the twisted, melty crown bullshit. And I remember I drew this thing in a sketchbook. It was like the sacred ink bottle with the ink coming out. And
Little fluttery
yeah,
ink.
and I'm like, oh man, this is just it. So Sonny comes up to, work at the shop. Yeah, this little armpit of a shop. And he's like, dude, that sucks, dude. He was like, that shit's bullshit, And he had these black and white copies of Jerry stuff. To this day,
That
a
no
lot
one
of it,
had.
they don't have it now.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It's stuff that he got. I guess he worked. He went down to work at Perfection. Then he worked with, filled in for Rollo or whatever. And he copied every goddamn thing.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that is there, but he was showing me that stuff, and he had old shit. You know what I mean?
Like on him or like reference?
Yeah. Well, not only that, his first tattoos were from Terry Tweed. Shit like that. And as fucked up as he was, I mean, he knew what the cool shit was at that point. And then, I think, any of us that give a fuck about tattooing at this point, you know what I mean, or just keep trying to move it forward and try to stick to, the tradition and not just giving up the tapes on everything.
Yeah.
We have that one person that kind of set us straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after that, there's a ton of people that, help you out.
Totally.
So, and through Sonny, I found my mentor. You know what I'm saying? So through this, you're gonna eventually find your mentor, which you do.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know?
did that with Denise.
Yeah.
Through Denise, she was married to Bob Oslam for a while, and before that, she was with Wes Grimm, and she was plugged in. She had the first in the flesh Hardy tattoo I'd ever seen, and she had great tattoos,
Exactly.
great pinups, but she was set up in the classic style, and she set my bearings straight, especially on technique, like how to actually get ink to go underneath the surface of the skin.
And how rare is that?
Well,
A woman,
yeah.
at
She
that
had
point,
that
yeah.
weaving ability she could saturate anything with color. Amazing tribal, that kind of thing. And so I was really fortunate to get that, and then she set me on the direction of Rollo, so then I get to have the mentorship of Rollo to set me into the psychology, what it is to be a tattooer, the artwork, where to pull reference, and he gave me that. So I'm glad I had
Not only that, but the hustle. You
That
know
for
what I mean?
sure.
That's probably more important than anything.
One man
You know what
shop
I mean?
hustle.
I mean, it really is, But, so, how do you get, how the fuck do you get to, be guided by Rollo? How does this happen?
Luckily, my friend Keith, that I had grown up at Lucky 7 with, we had overlapping apprenticeships. He was the only person I knew in tattooing. And there was a Bulldog machine that was out that had just gotten re-released. But this time Adam Safiria was doing it.
I remember that thing. I had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those.
So I couldn't get one, and my buddy Nick went and got one for me. And then through that, I got correspondence with Mike because Keith just straight up called him straight out of the back of Tattoo Time. Like,
as well, right?
oh yeah.
I did the same thing with Gibson.
Because he wanted
Flash,
a machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, fuck it, just called. And then there was correspondence, and then he was moving because he fell in love with a Scandinavian woman to
Right.
this area.
Right.
And I mean, that was just like stars alignment stuff. I mean, the Aloha Monkey was the 4th tattoo I ever got on my foot from Nick Colella when we knew no one in tattooing.
Yeah, sure.
And then I knew Mike Malone, you know, the owned the
Yeah.
Jerry collection, but I had no connection. And then for years later, it to just come
But there
out
wasn't
this
that
way.
many people.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super saturated with people doing tattoos. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's not that long, you know, what is it, like 25, 30 years tops? You know,
Totally.
and it really wasn't that many people doing it.
No.
So, like, to get that kind of information, you know, was
a
unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, you knew how blessed you were, too,
For sure.
you know?
So yeah, when Underwood moved up here to open the Aloha Monkey with him, he was going to do a lot of the machines and stuff. All his hands were getting old, and he had started that machine gig at Denise's when we were working at Lucky 7.
Mhm.
And so then I finished my apprenticeship with Denise. She was like, "Hell yes, go!" And so I came up here.
Yeah, she probably got to be stupid not to, you know?
But when I was working for her, I would do these nights where, like, I would get out of the shop at 10, drive straight up here, like, get here at 5 in the morning or something, and then be able to hang out with the old man for 2 days, my 2 days off, and then I would blast back and get to the shop right before we opened up.
There's no other way to get this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people realize that. You
Yeah.
know, because you can just, I mean, you can really just go on Google and find everything that you need to know, but you're not getting it from the horse's mouth. You know, you're not getting that real experience.
Yeah.
That person sharing you that they had and how they went about doing it and showing you like the little subtleties and making needles or mixing ink or whatever you have to do, or just doing a tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, even putting the tattoo on. There's 20 different ways to like get a stencil. You know, and we were doing this yesterday. Like, hey, how about this trick? Hey, about this trick?
Yeah.
How about this? So there's each little thing in
That
tattoos.
stuff's not on the internet.
It's not. It's here, and it's only with a few people. You know, and those people. I mean, by going by like this month alone, those people are croaking like crazy.
I know.
You
It's
know,
so sad.
the amount of like really cool people that that I looked up in the tattoo. Man, this month it's been a rough month. You know, so, but
We also got to keep that history alive, and like these things that you're doing
It
are great
is.
ideas, because the story's got to get set straight, like you said, from the horse's mouth, because after these old timers die off, man, there's going to be new stories created about that
oh my
shit.
god, dude, the amount of stories that get made up by fucking
Yeah.
kooks,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. It's like people have nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like these people that like maybe met him at a convention one time and shook his hand.
Sure.
Now they get this story. Well, he really influenced me, and
Or people with spite that just want to slam the name. It's like, oh man.
exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of assholes out there, but that's why to do this, and then that's why I like doing these trips too. Like I hear stories about this and that, and it's
Mhm.
all from 20 different sources, and like I want to hear from you.
Sure, I get it.
You know what I mean? I
Well,
want to
I
know how you
appreciate
feel
you
about
even
it.
coming out here. I mean, the whole linkage that we have with like my cousins and summers out where your shop
It's
is.
crazy,
Is
right?
And then that my cousin saw you in the deli. That was insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like those things are supposed to happen. I think.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like there's these things that are supposed to happen in life, and they just happen because that's the way it is. And it doesn't hurt to put yourself in a good position too.
Certainly.
So you were looking for the right person to teach you the right things.
Mhm.
I was the same fucking way, and that's why there are those connections too. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Especially in the tattooing aspect of it. So you're with, you're there. You're coming here to hang with Rollo for a couple
Mhm.
days, and when does that begin to develop into like you're here a lot?
Well, I permanently moved up. Let's see, I would cover shifts, but I permanently moved up in 2000. Spring of 2000. And then Rollo was, where you go grab that from? Rollo was, by then kicked out of the house. And
Really?
so, yeah.
So she kicked his ass out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fragile relationship. Right from the
I
get-go.
heard that, but
Yeah.
I never knew the whole,
And not a good
and it-
decision.
No.
In my hindsight, but anyway, so he gets kicked out of the house basically, and they're no longer together really, but they own this business because they went partners in on the monkey.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And so...
And he knows better, too.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know it. It was rough.
Ugh.
And so we lived together. Me and Keith took the upstairs, and he got the downstairs, like, in-law apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was cool because it was like, man, you get to live with your hero. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there was a lot of bad, but there was just so much good in just being around it. You know, or the, like you said, the little things that come out about the psychology of a tattooer. It was like
Absolutely,
it was like
man.
Wu-Tang shit. Like, I was around him all the time.
Absolutely.
And so Keith and I were just soaking it all up. And it was fun. It was just good times. I mean, there were times that he would just, like, we got him a Red Ryder little BB gun.
Yeah,
And he would
yeah.
just pluck saltine crackers off the banister. So I'd be, like, reading a book. And he would be in the house, and I'd be out on the patio, and I'd be reading a book, and then there would be, like, ding! I'd set another saltine up.
Those are like the little things, man. I mean, I know what it's like, you know, like Eric will come and stay with us, you know, and I love when he stays for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, of course we annoy the shit out of each other,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And you know, be like these little here and there, but like for the most part, man, it's just, you're with somebody, man, you really just love unconditionally.
Certainly.
And you respect them. You know what I mean? Because like Rollo, man, like that, this guy like gave me the world.
Yep.
To me,
Yep.
he just opened that whole thing up. Because I remember how it was before that, and the struggling. I thought I was doing okay, and I'm like, I'm not though. Like, look at this, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know when you're just fooling yourself.
For sure.
And
That
then
humility.
and he gets you to a point where like, you feel confident about yourself and what you're doing. You feel good about what you're doing. And I'm sure Mike did that for you as well, man.
Yeah, it was a little bit more after, you know, because then he went back to Roner Park to take care of that, and he was like, basically, told me, you know, either you buy the shop or I'm closing it. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I can get a loan for that. I tried to get a loan, couldn't do it. So he said, you buy my shares, you're the only person that could basically partner with Linda. And I'm like, but I want to out that. Like, I want to be solo cholo in there.
Yeah, of course.
So I got it from Rollo, and that was like August. And then in October, I had already, because she agreed to a bad spread, so I had already taken the shifts that were appropriate. It was me and a couple other gentlemen working, one piercing, a guy named Mike Malone, and another guy, Josh Edwards, tattooing. And so when I took over, that deal that I created with her was like, I mean, this is the only way I'm going to help you in your business, because
Yeah, sure.
he's leaving, and this is the only way. So anyway, I basically took her half in October, and so then I was solo owner. And
That was quick.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
that worked out good. Hey, this seems to be the common thread in the stories I hear, and every guy I try to get on the film
Mhm.
are the best.
Sure.
Like, what I think are the best, you know. And the common theme is, man, you guys just keep stepping in shit, dude. You're like lucky motherfuckers, dude. That's what it is. That mean, if you don't have that luck, man, you ain't got shit, you know.
Yeah, I think tattooing chooses you.
It does. It really does, man. Like that just seems to be the common thread, you know.
Mhm.
So you have this place all to your own.
Yep.
So what are you doing with it?
Well, I mean, I'm young. I'm 23 at the time, owning my own business, and yeah, it was just trial and error. I got a lot of information, but I got a lot of it on the street right there, because we had like overlapping shifts throughout the day. So one guy would work mornings, one guy would work evenings. That's kind of how Rollo set it up. And so I would come in for the evening shifts, which was a stronger shift, and my buddy would work. We'd overlap by an hour. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
around
right,
the
right.
evening time when you
Mhm.
need it. And so a lot of it was just learned with me, and like not even a desk roll, just like selling tattoos as you're doing
That's
tattoos.
how we did it.
And
Yeah.
having the gift of gab, being able to look at designs, being able to confidently announce a price. I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And being able to handle a line at the Monkey when it was in the strip mall, which it's no longer. We have this beautiful standalone building.
Yeah.
Amen to that. But there was this standalone, or this strip mall shop, and it was like a corridor, so people would literally line up, and it would be like,
How good was the line?
It was nice.
The line of people. You just knew you were making bank that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But having that gift of gab to be able to get that.
You had to though. You
And
know,
be able to
like
find
you had to be able to coax that money out of their pocket.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And like you knew how to weigh people's pockets.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like now, guys that do it now, sometimes it's just that confidence isn't there. You know what I mean? And it's almost like they don't. It's not that they don't care about the money, but it's like
It is a business.
Exactly, but it's like you have to care about the money because you know, like we all should be playing by the same rules here too.
Amen to that.
You know?
Nobody's paying for my chiropractor. You know what I mean? I don't have.
That's what I'm talking about.
So
you know,
you have to make it while it's there, and that was one thing Rollo was so great about. He was like, everyone leaves with empty pockets. Period.
You know what I'm saying?
They came to make a deposit. Is what he would say.
That's it.
And so.
That's all I ever heard, dude.
Yeah.
That's for real. That's all I ever heard. You know, and like, you know, I know Mike was like one of Eric's like major influences too. Like he
True.
loved tattooing his flash, you know? Like he was like, I mean, he thought the world of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but, so like, I mean, this is going on for years here. You know, you're just kicking ass and you're getting better and better and better. I mean, like I've seen the growth of you, you know? Like I watched you from afar come from this up to here.
Thanks.
It's beautiful to watch those things. There's a lot of guys we're talking about. Jordan, we're talking about. Kate, we're talking about. All these guys. And, man, some of these guys are mentally deficient. And if they can fucking do it, you know what I mean?
Great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, it does take a certain someone to be a real tattooer. There's people that do tattoos. Plenty of people do tattoos. But they're not real tattooers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the total package, like we've been talking about your whole stay here.
Yeah.
You know, Rollo always said, add a link to the chain. If you can't add a link to the chain, you have no business in that. So it's each design, each time you do it, you add a link to it to make it better. And if you can't, do it verbatim. But you have to add a link. You can't just go taking links away.
Dude, it's a lot. That's where we're at now. There's a ton of takers.
Yeah.
No givers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a few givers. Don't get me wrong, but man, there's way more takers than givers anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't say it to be a dick or anything, but it's just this is what I'm seeing. You know, like everyone wants to put their hand in the till and take that shit out, but no one's putting it back in after they're done using it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to take it. This is my own personal opinion. You know, like when you get something, you give it back in a better condition.
And that's with patterns, drawings, anything like that, or the product. You know, like each couple of years, you get better and better if you stay true.
That little notch you go up.
Yeah.
Without even realizing it.
Yeah.
You know.
But even sometimes it'll be a couple of years of just application, then it's like a year of design work. It's like it's all over, and it's that whole roundness of the individual that I think is what gets it. Back to the give and takers, though. I even know that like tattooing's an interesting sport because it has taken a lot from me. You know what I mean? You have to pay a little bit of flesh for this.
Yeah, you pay your pound of flesh, man. Yeah. That's for damn sure. You know, whether it be physically, mentally,
all of it,
with relationships.
But it's blessed me as well. So it's like that give and take. Tattooing itself is a give and take.
I mean, I was more than willing to pay that price.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I know what I got. You know, I know what I've gotten from this, and you know, I get choked up thinking about it. You know what I'm saying, dude? I really do. I kind of tear up. I get choked up. I really do, man. You know, because I don't take this shit lightly. You know what I'm saying? I'm real serious about this shit, and people just don't fucking get it. You know, so who's like some of the people that came through, man? Like who's some of the guys that were like dipshits? They come in dipshits and they leave men. You know what I mean?
Uzi used to call it Tat University.
Exactly.
He just always came and learned something new, and that guy's amazing. Him and Josh Arment.
Who's this now?
Miguel Montgomery.
Oh, fuck Uzi. Yeah, jeez, man.
So he was one of the first guest stars.
Zero to hero. A lot of guys went 0 to hero, man, in no time, you know?
But Uzi, Josh Palmer, they came through. So many people have helped out. That's the thing about the Monkey is, you know, I was real guarded and closed off the way Mike instructed me, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until I met, like, Lee and Uzi and Palmer and just some guys out there that I started to kind of open my doors and share what I had been sitting in my little cocoon doing.
Yeah.
Like up until then. And so then after that, then I just kind of let the gates open and people loved coming out. And each time they came out, I'm the guy that's like asking, all right, how you do that? What needle are you using on that? Because I'm a thirst for this thing.
Absolutely.
So
I
I'm picking
love
up
looking
anything
over
I
people's
can.
shoulders and stealing, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think it's even stealing. I think it's truly, you have to have the eyeball to research it.
Yeah.
So you're just gathering.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But-
like that's how Innsmouth was. That place was, that was known as Tattoo University down there,
for
man.
sure.
You went down there, and like if you didn't come back as a better tattooer, you're just an asshole, man.
Yeah.
Like you
And that's
just
all I
don't-
really ask from anybody that's ever worked for me, because I ask it of myself. If you can't, you got to leave. When you leave the Aloha Monkey, you got to leave better than you got there.
Absolutely,
Noticeably.
absolutely. So you're over there for years, man, and then this place you're looking at for forever.
This is it.
Because you're going past here every day, and you're like, and you're seeing the vision, like the next step.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to happen, though.
Yeah, I couldn't get my hands on this building for years. It was like 18 years. I actually asked Rollo to buy it back when it was like nothing. And he didn't. He's never owned anything like that. You know what I mean? He rented all the time. So,
Well, yeah, you could get up and split,
Right.
if things got too high,
For sure.
whatever, yeah.
so he never wanted to sink his roots in, and I understand. But then I looked at it for 18 years, man. And like I say all the time, man, I walked around it like it was the walls of Jericho. I peed on it. I wrote my name on it, and it just didn't come.
Yeah,
for
that shit
18
is
years.
mine, yeah. Well, that's good. That one now it's yours.
Yeah.
And you definitely put your stamp on it for sure.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
this
whole
is
new
just the
start.
beginning. Yeah, it's a whole new start.
And the blessing of it to be able to be in your 23rd year and be able to sit there and go, it's like a refresh.
It is, man.
Because
Like
things become the similar all the time, or they
you start
become
getting
mundane.
complacent.
Right.
You get very complacent, and
So
it's
this
like
gave me a little
business as
charge.
usual. Exactly, dude. So I like when I ended up opening the second Cadillac,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, boy, I did it with my son.
Yeah.
And we both built that place. It really felt good to do that with him.
Heck
And
yeah.
show him like this is how you build a goddamn tattoo shop. Like
With
a
all
real
the things
one.
you've been taught on
Exact-
what goes where,
Exactly.
how to run the dummy
Side-
rail.
Like man, like it's unbelievable to me that people don't even know like if you're gonna build a station, it's 26 high.
Yep.
So you're like this.
Yeah. So
You're
you
not
don't have
like
to
you're
do
not
this.
like this.
Yep.
And if you're a lefty, you do a lefty station. If you're a righty, you do a righty station.
always have
It's
some
all a
option.
little bullshit, that goes into it, But now you have this place. I mean, you really, what you've done so far with this place is amazing. You know what I mean? And
Still a little empty for me, but the walls gather things as.
exactly, it starts building its own personality. So where do you? 23 years. I mean, fuck, dude. You've done a lot in 23 years. You really kicked ass. So where do you go from here?
I like just the, in tattooing, it's been like a real adrenaline sport for me. Like the amount of knowledge, the troughs, all that, and so like I'm looking at like the balancing act of having the high standards, adding links to the chain, staying inspired, but also balancing out like the things that are important to me outside of tattooing.
Sure.
Because I think
If you don't have that, you're just gonna go. You end up resenting
you
it.
go flat.
Yeah, you
So-
resent it. That's why I've always done music, and I got
Exactly.
that
Another
release to
outlet.
do that. Yeah, you have to do something else, man. This can't be because you get burnt out, man.
Yeah.
I got burnt out, man, and that was not a fun period.
Yeah, and
know
you
what I
almost
mean?
have to in the beginning to get the education just to stay afloat.
Yeah. I mean, it just takes a while to learn everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be that well balanced person and tattooer.
Yeah. Totally.
So, but like, do you see yourself in 20 years? What's this going to look like? Are you like this is what I like doing is you develop younger guys that
Yeah.
have a knack for it, and then they want to learn more.
That's it.
Like I love
That's my
sitting down.
favorite one.
Man, I fucking love sitting down, going through photos. Why'd you do this? Maybe you do a little bit of this
Yeah.
or whatever. How about drawing this? Or, it's just there's a lot of ways of going about it. Eric always had a great way of critiquing, and he would never start off with anything negative.
That's awesome.
So he would look at your stuff and he'd be like, I like how you did this or whatever. And inside you're like, fuck yeah. You're so fucking stoked. So by the time you got to like, what the fuck is that? You were like, yeah. Oh yeah, I did fuck that. With a smile on your face. Like, yeah, it is fucked up. What do I do about it? It's so much easier to take, But I mean, like you take these young guys, man. Like my son, for instance, man. I didn't know if he was really gonna make it or not.
Sure.
You know, there were certain times, that you needed a fucking kick in the ass, and I was there to give it to him. And sometimes I said, man, you're gonna have to ask this guy about something or other too. Like, I can't do everything like that. There's certain guys. Like Eric was really good at sending you to the guy that could help you with certain things.
Exactly.
Gibson for lettering and painting. This one for that. This one for that.
And being able to be honest and humble with that.
Dude, man, like Mike, man, he was a fucking huge help then, man. Like that same convention, I got my Aloha Monkey Tattoo.
Yeah.
Met Malone. He went through my photographs and everything. He goes, "What do you want me to do?" He goes, "You want me to blow smoke up your ass? Or you want me to tell you the truth?"
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah. And then that convention was the one where Eric agreed to fucking help me.
Sad.
I got the giant Dave Gibson tattoo over here.
Yeah.
It was like a 6-hour tattoo. That tattoo convention was the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just
one
fucking
that lit you on fire.
God damn, man. So everyone has that though. Everyone that I talk to, they have that fucking experience that has done it for them. Yeah. And that's why like the guys like you and Keith. I love Keith, man. He's a funny motherfucker, dude. I've known him a long time, dude.
That's awesome.
When he would come to Philly with Raleigh with all that bullshit in his face,
Yeah.
And Raleigh used to love me coming up and fucking with him, It was he used to fucking just laugh the whole time,
That's awesome.
But I know all these guys for years now, you know what I mean? These are like my brothers, almost,
Certainly.
But like, you like getting these guys is like I do, like these younger tattooers, man, and you see where you can take it.
Yeah.
Like that's your other link too.
That is. You definitely got to invest in the future, but I don't want to start somebody out again. I just want to be able to contribute to tattooers.
That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about apprenticeships.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck all that, dude.
Just to contribute to tattooers so that the stuff doesn't go dead and unknown, and so that maybe they utilize it.
The deal is if people are doing good tattoos across the board, it makes it better for everyone.
Yeah.
The public then sees it as something fucking good.
Legitimate.
Not like well, I went and got a fucked up tattoo and some fucking hepatitis. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that. Whereas it could be like, man, I love going to get tattooed,
Yeah.
You have all these people fucking spending money on tattoos.
Well, that goes to the lowball conversation. When you're lowballing somebody over in Philly, that's affecting me here. I mean, eventually down the pipeline.
Eventually, I'm going to say I got it for 150 there.
Yeah, but I mean, that can't happen. So everybody across the board, I don't care how cool the design is or if you've never done it before, you got to raise your price to meet the standards of what this trade is and what you're actually providing this person.
Absolutely.
I'm not asking for scratchers to raise their price, but they'll always be scratchers. I'm saying if you do this and this is your job and you're really dedicated to tattooing, charge what you're worth.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what, man, like, some of the prices I was getting here, I was like, God damn. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm completely cool with it. You know what I mean? But
I just, a lot of people have spoken into me about that, and so that's just a philosophy I have. Along with others, that one sticks out the most. Get what you're worth.
You should. If you're worth it, your tattoos say it, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your tattoos are definitely worth it. So.
Well, I care more than they do. That's what I always tell them. It's just part of the gab, but it's like actually the truth. I actually care more what your tattoo looks like than you do.
Most definitely. I definitely do. I know I do. There's the same people that'll go, they'll go to their buddy in the fucking house to get a $40 tattoo at a tattoo party.
Yeah, they obviously don't care about their height.
They don't give a fuck. Most people don't give a fuck. The
Isn't that
general public don't know.
They care more about their white Nikes not getting a little bit of grass stain on them than
Or
they
they're
do
fucking dude, how much are these phones? Fucking phones are $700, dude. And then you get a new one in 2 years.
Yeah. And people are dropping it for that.
Dude, can you imagine they
your
spend
actual skin
on you? You gotta fucking get up and look at that shit every day.
Yeah.
So that always tripped me out. We always say, would you pay for those Air Jordans or whatever, I'm like, well, and they don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Or
they do, and they start bragging, and he's like,
Yeah, and you can't.
You
You're not. I used to say, I said, you're not worth $250.
Yeah.
You're really not. Do you feel like you're that much of a piece of shit that you can't fucking spend $250 on yourself?
Yep.
Really? Splurge for
So
once,
funny.
So, look, man, like tattooing has just gotten so crazy now. You know what I mean? It was real simple before, man. You came in, you tried to do your best, and you fucking wanted to make a shitload of money, man.
Yeah.
And like we definitely lived a fucking a fun life.
Yeah, and I think it's just in a different evolution now. It's like if you can maintain the consistency of riding all the waves in it, that's what makes the longevity out of our heroes. That's what's going to make the longevity
Most
out of
definitely,
us.
you know. Man, I mean, I see all the shit that Eric's been through, and a couple of the other older cats that I really dig, and they changed their whole shit, man. Like everyone has their little habits here and there,
Sure.
and little fuck ups and whatever. Dude, we're all human, And tattooers, I mean, when we fuck up, we really fuck up, I mean, we really do it. But the thing is, like, I love seeing those success stories too.
Sure.
Like guys that they had
It's
it.
authentic,
and they
dude.
It is, man. That's what real life.
Yeah.
It's real life shit, and
And
I share that with other people.
Yeah.
Like you might not. It's like, look, you might not believe you'll ever get burned out and get a fucking crazy coke habit and fucking do all this other fucking bullshit. But you know what? Some fucked up shit's gonna have to happen to you at some point.
Totally.
And
that vulnerability is a strength because, you're just being real. That's it.
That's
authentic.
it.
And tattooing is one of the most authentic things. It's an authentic service.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I could have said fuck it and killed myself or bailed and whatever the fuck, but I didn't. But fuck, man. Like I have the help from friends that I know. Like, when Sonny tells you that you're fucking, he's nervous for you.
Yeah.
You got a problem.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, we all have friends that step in for us, and that is another strong thing about the tattoo community is like, I don't know what old tattooer said it. Maybe it was even Paul that said there's 1% on top, and then everybody else is just, he's like,
Yep.
I've always had support from like a good, true, upper echelon of tattooers, and it's also been like, standing on their shoulders. You know what I mean?
Most definitely, man. I mean, I'm lucky, man. I had the people in my life that I had, and the ones that I still have in my life.
Yeah.
But that comes with like not being a fucking shithead, not giving up the business.
Yeah.
That's not like, dude. I could be a millionaire 20 times over
Oh, shit.
if I would have fucking given up a bunch of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
too,
I do.
And I chose not to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can give the things I have away in a more meaningful way.
Yeah.
Instead of monetizing everything.
Yeah. You can give it with some depth and some roots where it might actually stick. It's not just scattered out.
Absolutely, dude. And just to give it to fucking knuckleheads that don't appreciate it.
I agree.
So.
Like whenever you would get like good things, you would always be real eager about sharing them with your close friends. And Danny Boy, I know that I got a lot of that from you, like just being real eager to share, but with the close circle.
You have to. You have to do it. I used to have guys come up at conventions and want to show me their photo album and shit like that. And I would take the time to do every fucking one of them.
Nice.
I never told anyone to fuck off. Dude, the funniest thing though, man, this guy wanted to get into tattooing one time. And he goes up to Hank's booth. He's got all this shit in his face.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to, apprentice or whatever case. He goes, well, go to the bathroom and take all that bullshit out of your face. I can't look at you, right? So he goes, takes all the shit out, and he comes back and he goes, get the fuck out of here. I would never teach you. Why didn't you tell me to go fuck myself when I said that? He goes, I can't trust you now to do that. Now you just do whatever anyone tells you to do.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So there's there's a lesson in that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I was there to see these things.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've been around the world and back because of tattooing.
Yeah.
You've seen things you would never have seen on your own.
I know.
Just being a little Peckerwood from out here. You know what I'm saying? No, you wouldn't have known shit. So that's the things. I mean, it's like that's what tattooing gives you. It's like saying, oh, that's what Jesus can give you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It almost sounds, it's like almost like religion.
Yeah, well,
You know
there
what
is
I'm
a lot of that. I think religion is just.
I mean, it's a real spirit. It's spiritual for me. I know that.
A little bit different. We do make our own thing in here, which I definitely would say is the religion. But I just think that tattooing is more spiritual than a religion.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But we got some of our saints though. There's some saints out there.
We do.
But like, hey man, I appreciate you sitting down.
I appreciate you
shooting
taking the
shit
time
with me,
and I truly acknowledge you for coming out and just being a part of the connective tissue to tattooing. Like you've always been that, and you have some of the greatest stories and some of the most true, heartfelt, like tattooer from the day. Like you're real snappy on your comebacks, and you have the wit. And I just hope that you spread it around because it's awesome.
It's been a pleasure, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap.